What is up, everybody? Matty Smackdown of the Wrestling All Day podcast here. Last night, WWE presented King of the Ring. Well, actually, yesterday afternoon, WWE presented King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring 2024. So I watched the show mostly live. I had to catch the main event afterwards because I had to go to work. And as much as I didn't want to, I didn't have a choice. I had to go to work. I had to go and fight for the man, I guess. But so what I've seen from most of King of the Ring, gotta be my second least favorite show of the year. My first was Backlash. And I know people are going to lose their minds over this, but I thought that French crowd was super, super fucking annoying. Like, they had a chant for everything. I get it, they're a big soccer country and that's a thing they do over there, but that crowd was fucking terrible. And the Saudi Arabia crowd tried it as well. They tried doing their own chants for everything, and it didn't work the same. But in terms of everything that happened last night, I believe it was a 6-match card if you count the kickoff show. Let me double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So it was a 6-match card if you include the kickoff, 5 if not. So the kickoff show, we had the women's tag team championships, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending the titles against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And this was your typical run-of-the-mill Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill match. Their opponents did absolutely nothing. Jade and Bianca did everything, and even that wasn't much because we've seen it 1,000 times. We've seen what Jade can do in AEW, and it's not much, and there's nothing special to her in the WWE as well. She took all this time to train and get ready for WWE, and she's not really shown any signs of improvement. However, I do like their finisher. That wheelbarrow suplex boot combo, I do like that. I do enjoy that a lot. But as for the match, it wasn't really anything. It was really more of a nothing match just to get them on the card, just to get the tag titles defended. Indy and Candice, the new heel Indy and Candice, I'm not a fan of it. Maybe in time it'll win me over, but they did absolutely nothing in this match. And they were pretty sloppy the entire match. There's not really much else I could say about that. Out of since wrestling fans love hearing star ratings, out of 5 stars, I'll give that like a 2, and that's being generous. But don't worry, it gets worse. So, like I said, I love their finish. The boot, the double boot when she sends her up and over, and Jade carries her into the thing for the release wheelbarrow suplex. I do like that. That move is pretty sweet. I'm over Jade Cargill. I've been over Jade Cargill since the day she debuted in AEW, and she cut that terrible promo that introduced Shaq, and I've not been a fan of Jade Cargill. Props to her for getting where she is. There's nothing wrong with that. She's doing the damn thing. She's getting her bag. She's making her money. So good on her. She's not winning me over. So that match, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. And like I said, that's being pretty generous. So the show started off with the Women's World Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. And so they made it to the point where you can tell almost exactly who was going to win almost every single match. That's the problem with these Saudi Arabia shows. Like, they treat them like they're a big thing, but you can still tell, it's pretty run-of-the-mill, standard Saudi propaganda bullshit. And you can basically, who's going to win. It's just one of those shows you don't have to watch, and you'll miss absolutely nothing. Every Saudi show is the same way. It's one of those shows where they're there because they're getting paid to be there. And if you blink, you miss it, you miss absolutely nothing. And the same thing goes for this match. Becky Lynch versus Mid Morgan. Again, it was just another throwaway match. They made it painfully fucking obvious that Liv Morgan was going to win the world championship from Becky here, as Liv was supposed to win it from Rhea, but with Rhea being injured, she can't. So she had to win it from somebody. And if they were going to do this, she should have just won the Battle Royal on Raw. There was no point to this. This match gets a 1 out of 5 for me. Becky in the last number of years has really drastically fallen off. Like, after her heel run in 2021, when she attacked Bianca before the match or right as the bell rang, whatever it was, and she did Big Time Bex was cool. But after that, she's fallen off so hard. Her match at WrestleMania last year with Trish and Lita versus Damage Control was a flop. Her match this year with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, it wasn't that great. I mean, it was all right. It was all right. Don't get me wrong. But this gets a 1 out of 5 for me. And you know what? It's going to get a 0.5 because Mid Morgan is your new women's world champion. So a 0.5 out of 5 for Becky versus Liv Morgan for the women's world championship. We're going to move on to the triple threat match. Now, this for me was the match of the night. This match fucking ruled. Sami Zayn, Big Bronson Reed, Chad Gable. Props to all three of these men. They pulled it the fuck out, and it was an awesome triple threat match from start to finish. There was a moment in the match when Sami Zayn did the Blue Thunder Bomb on Bronson Reed, and I was watching it with my buddies. I had them on my headset, and all three of us at the same time lost our minds. It was so cool how it happened. The way he the transition, I believe he had Chad Gable in the ankle lock, and Bronson came in and he caught him and hit him with the Blue Thunder Bomb. That was pretty cool. The Tower of Doom spot was awesome. That whole match, everything from start to finish was awesome. I love the "You Suck" chants for Chad Gable. I love that the crowd is basically going to turn Chad Gable into this generation's Kurt Angle. I think that's fucking awesome because Chad Gable's awesome. Whether he's a heel or he's a face, I always thought Chad Gable was awesome. I was not a fan of Shorty G. I can tell you that much. Not a fan of Shorty G at all. I thought that was dumb. And fuck the WWE for ever doing that. I dropped my lid. Whatever. But honestly, it was a great match. Chad Gable did great. Bronson Reed did great. You knew Sami Zayn was leaving with the title. They're going to further that story. Hopefully, it leads to Chad Gable winning the title at SummerSlam because we need heel Chad Gable as a champion. Maybe not right away. So I think Sami was the right choice to win this match because Chad just turned heel. You know, he's got this whole thing going on with Otis and Tozawa and Maxine. You know, there's a whole thing there. I think this is going to get played out for a little bit, at least until SummerSlam and maybe even into WrestleMania next year. We'll see Chad and Sami lock up for the Intercontinental Championship. And, you know, one-on-one, they always put on good matches. So I think that match is going to be awesome. It's still weird to see Sami Zayn in Saudi after the whole, like, Sami was banned from Saudi for a long time because of his Syrian descent. So it's weird seeing Sami in Saudi, but it was a great match. And this, I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5. I don't think any match tonight or any match on that card got a 5 from me. It was pretty close though for the triple threat match, and that had a little bit of everything. All three men, even though they're all completely different styles of wrestlers, they meshed well, and it was a great match. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't think it's in frame. It's not. It's right over here. I got a poster from PPW with Bronson Reed when he was Jonah, and it's signed by him. I thought that was pretty cool to see him then and to see him now where he is. It's a great difference. You know, he got released, I believe, in 2021. Had to have been 2021. I'm glad they brought him back. I'm glad they're doing something with him. I'm glad he had a big championship match and hopefully bigger things in his future. He's a great talent, so I can only hope that, you know, something big comes his way in the near future. But right now, I think the bigger story is Sami and Chad's dissension with the Alpha Academy. But in time, in time, I think that we will see Otis and Chad implode. And I think that'll lead to maybe another triple threat match. Maybe that'll be the SummerSlam match. Maybe even a fatal four-way. Otis, Chad, Bronson, Sammy at SummerSlam. That'd be pretty cool. Talked about the 3 styles clash. It could be 4 styles clashing there, and I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for me for that match. And then we had the Queen of the Ring final, Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. And again, they could not have made it any more painfully obvious who was going to win the King and Queen of the Ring. But Nia Jax did it. Nia Jax won. Nia Jax got the Queen of the Ring crown, and she's got a #1 contendership for the Women's Championship or World Championship at SummerSlam. I believe she said she was going to challenge for the Women's World Championship. I don't remember who she said. I try to ignore all of Nia Jax's promos because they're awful, just like Nia Jax. And so that match is going to get a 1.5 out of it for me. Not even a 1 point. No, it was about 1.5. 1.5 is fair. Lyra Valkyrie did her job. Nia Jax did her job. I don't know what the fuck the company sees in Nia Jax. I don't know who the fuck she's got dirt on. But Nia Jax is back, and Nia Jax got a women's championship match in the future. And 1.5, again, that's being generous because Nia Jax is just awful. Everything she does is just awful. Terrible. But she got the Queen of the Ring crown, so it is what it is. You know, I don't book the shows, so like I can't decide who wins and who loses. But if I did, Nia Jax surely wouldn't. But yeah, so good on Lyra Valkyria for going out there and working with somebody who's notorious for being dangerous with her opponents, notorious for being an unsafe worker. Big shouts out to Lyra Valkyria for that. And then we got to the King of the Ring final. Now this match fucking ruled until the very end. This match was perfect. Randy Orton versus Gunther, 1-on-1. Randy Orton's first singles pay-per-view match in over 2.5 years. What a great match it was with him and Gunther. Like, people shit on Gunther all the time, but I used to be one of those people. When Gunther was in NXT, when he was Walter, I was shitting all over him. I was like, dude, there's no way I'm ever going to take a motherfucker named Walter seriously. There's no way. There's just no way. And the only thing he does, he can chop people really hard. That's great. But now that he's on the main roster, he's finally developed the personality a little bit. You know, he's a ring general, you know? Like, I was very excited to see Randy Orton versus Gunther because I knew it was going to be an awesome match. And it was. It was a great match. Randy Orton and Gunther beat the hell out of each other the entire match. Gunther with the chops, Randy selling his back, his knee, everything. The RKOs on Gunther. When Gunther got hit with that RKO, I said, oh shit, they're going to give it to Randy. Awesome. We're going to get Randy and Cody at SummerSlam. That'll be cool. I was cool with either guy winning. I was perfectly okay with Gunther or Randy Orton winning. Absolutely. But it had to end with some fuckery. Always. Great match, had to end with some fuckery. Randy Orton hit the RKO, covered Gunther. Gunther rolled Randy Orton up 1, 2, 3. But unfortunately, Randy Orton's shoulders were up, and it was right there on the camera. I know Triple H after the show addressed it, and he said that as the referee's decision is final, Gunther is the King of the Ring, but he says Randy Orton deserves another shot at the crown, so I'm assuming they'll run that back very soon. This match gets a 4.5. I would have gotten a 5 if that fucking finish didn't happen. It would have got a 5 out of 5 if it had not been for that stupid fucking finish where Randy Orton's shoulders were clearly off the ground. Corey Graves made mention of it. He said he wanted to see a replay, and then they on purpose showed a different angle so you can't really see Randy's shoulder off the mat. But again, 4.5 for me. Would have gotten a 5 if it had not been for that dumb fucking finish. Gunther, the King of the Ring, and he is going to be challenging, I'm assuming, Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre, whoever wins at Clash at the Castle, because that was another thing they announced last night. Drew McIntyre is cleared. Drew McIntyre is back and ready for action, and he gets a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship in Glasgow, June 15th at Clash at the Castle. That match is going to be fucking sweet. But the main event, the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus United States Champion Logan Paul. Now, Logan Paul has been United States Champion for about 200 and some odd days. Logan Paul has 2 defenses of the United States Championship. I understand they didn't want him to lose the title, because they're going to Cleveland with SummerSlam, and that's where he's from. But this should have been a champion versus champion match. They could have had it end on some fucking bullshit finish. I don't care. This should have been a champion versus champion match, so Logan Paul could at least say he defended his championship more than twice. He won the championship back in November in Saudi Arabia, I believe, when he beat Rey Mysterio, and he's defended it at the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. That's it. That is it. He hasn't defended it on Raw, hasn't defended it on SmackDown, and I get it. Logan Paul's a attraction, depending on who you ask. But if you're going to make somebody a champion, they probably should defend their title. We sat through fucking 3 years of part-time Roman Reigns, and now we got to sit through part-time Logan Paul. Like, come on. I know they're going to, like I said, they want to keep title on him until he gets to Cleveland, and they can have him lose it there, or he can win it, whatever. But at least have him defend the championship every now and then. That'd be great. So this match was just your, typical Logan Paul, you're going to go viral match. And this was another Cody Rhodes match. Cody Rhodes busted out the vertebraker. That move's been banned for like 20 fucking years in WWE. So that was cool to see the vertebraker. And if you're fans of Homicide, the cop killer, gringo killer, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was dope to see Cody bust out the vertebraker. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Cody Rhodes winning obviously was the right choice. Logan Paul is not ready to be the world champion. Logan Paul is not ready to carry an entire company on his back. He can barely keep fucking the Prime. I don't even know what was Prime. He screwed somebody over with something. I don't remember if it was Prime or cryptocurrency. It was something. So he can barely keep track of that, let alone be the face of the WWE, a company that's been established for about 60 years now. So Cody winning was the right choice. Like I said, that match gets about a 4 point. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. 4 is a fair rating. If Randy Orton and Gunther can get a 4.5, I think Cody and Logan can get a 4 out of 5. It wasn't a bad match. Like I said, it was just your typical, Logan Paul match, typical Cody Rhodes match. Cody Rhodes spamming finishers like always. And Logan Paul spamming the brass knucks like always. But yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match for what it was. And Cody, like I said, busting out the vertebraker was fucking awesome. Like I said, that move's been banned for a very long time in the WWE. So seeing Cody Rhodes bust that out in Saudi Arabia, and props to Logan Paul for taking it, because I don't know if anybody, I sure as fuck wouldn't. I wouldn't take any of those moves. I was body slammed once by Alpha Jr., the Samoan Storm, and I'm good. I'm good, brother. I'm good on all that. But yeah. So him popping out the vertebraker was pretty fucking cool. And big props to Logan Paul. As much as I can't stand that son of a bitch, big props to him for taking that move, because I don't think very many people would opt in to take that move. But at the end of the day, I think my final grade for King of the Ring out of 5 stars for the entire show, I'm going to give it like a 3. I think that's fair. I think a 3 for King of the Ring is fair. Like I said when I started this, it was just your typical run-of-the-mill Saudi show. Blink and you miss it, and you don't miss much. One title change, and you already knew it was going to happen. You already knew Gunther was going to be the King of the Ring. You already knew Nia was going to be King or Queen of the Ring. It was, like I said, it was one of those shows where if you miss it, you didn't miss it. So my grade for King of the Ring will be a 3. 3 out of 5, and that's not terrible. Backlash got a 2 out of 5 from me. Backlash, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't even sit through it. The opening match was great, and then the crowd just ruined everything, the entire rest of the show. And I know people are going to be mad at me for that, and I really don't give a fuck, because it's awful. I hate when crowds do that shit. I'm all for crowd involvement, but I hate when crowds try to get themselves over instead of try to focus on what's going on in the ring. I hate it. I hated it when New Jersey did it after WrestleMania 29. I hate when London did it. I hate when France did it. I hate when Puerto Rico did it. Like, just stop trying to get yourselves over. Come on, like be fans of the show. The French crowd absolutely just ruined everything for me at Backlash. And like I said, the Saudi show, they tried to get their chants and cheers going. They sang Randy Orton's theme song, which was cool. They sang Cody's theme song, which is cool. I'm all for singing the theme song. Sing your fucking hearts out. That's cool. I know in AEW they do it when Edge comes out, especially in Toronto. They were singing Metalingus, and that was pretty fucking sweet. Or I'm sorry, Adam Copeland. I'm sorry, but yeah, that French crowd really killed it for me with France, and then or for Backlash, and then with King of the Ring, the only thing that killed it for me was everything was too fucking predictable. That's the only thing that killed it for King of the Ring for me. Everything was way too goddamn predictable. And unfortunately, that seems to be a pattern that has been happening a lot in the WWE, in wrestling in general. But especially WrestleMania. Like, I went to WrestleMania night 1, and every single match, I was like, maybe like 2 minutes into the match, I was like, oh, well, all right. You had the winners. You knew fucking. So I didn't know. I knew they were splitting the tag titles. I just didn't know that they were going to give it to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which was cool. But I knew Truth and Miz were winning at least one set of those titles. But yeah, it's a very predictable time in wrestling again, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. Wrestling is becoming very predictable again, and like I said, it's not necessarily a horrible thing because you go in with high expectations and you're like, oh, this is going to happen. So when they flip the script on you and something else happens, you go, I can't believe that happened. You know what I mean? Like last night, if Randy Orton would have won King of the Ring, I would have been shocked. I would have been happy because, like I said, I was cool with Gunther or Randy winning King of the Ring. I would have been shocked if he would have won. I would have been shocked if anybody besides Sami Zayn walked out with the Intercontinental Championship. I would have been shocked if Candice and Indy won the tag team championships. But like I said, it's too damn predictable. And like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not a good thing. But with that, that is my review for the King of the Ring 2024 pay-per-view premium live event, from Saudi Arabia. And again, my final grade for that pay-per-view is a 3 out of 5, which isn't terrible. Like I said, Backlash got a 2 out of 5. WrestleMania got a 5 out of 5. Royal Rumble got a 3 out of 5. So that's, again, it's not a terrible thing. But with that in mind, I'm out of here. I got to get to work in about 20 minutes. So with that in mind, I'm Matty SmackDown, host of the Wrestling All Day podcast, and I will catch you guys for the next one.